In thermodynamics topic, today we discuss heat engines and refrigerator. What is this heat engine? So it is a device by which heat is converted into mechanical work. So as I told you in the beginning of thermodynamics, that is, here thermodynamics deals with conversion of heat energy into other forms. While converting in other forms, we can do work. Example I told, see, whenever we take a vessel and filled with water like this. So when this is closed with a lid, if it is closed with a lid and it is heated, when it is heated, when water is boiling, after some time this lid start to vibrate. Vibration means it is getting in motion. It is getting in motion means something is exerting force on it. It means indirectly work is done. It means whenever heat energy is given to the water, then the water, whatever heat energy is given, by using that heat energy, it is doing work. Like that, heat energy can be used to do work, or heat energy is converted into mechanical work. But to do this, we need a device. Today that device is our heat engine. And this heat engine has three main parts. One is called as source, second is working substance, third is a sink. Then what is a source? What is a source? See, source is a hot body maintained at high temperature. Right? Second, this is having the material which is used as a source should have high specific heat. What do you mean by this high specific heat? Specific heat means amount of heat energy required to raise the temperature of a body of mass 1 kg through 1 Kelvin. Here, high specific heat means we need large amount of energy to raise the temperature of a body of mass 1 kg through 1 Kelvin. It means we are choosing so high specific heat that even if it absorbs any amount of energy, even body receives any amount of energy, its temperature almost remains same. It means our aim is to maintain a constant temperature of the source. Temperature of the source is almost constant. Next, here its main function of this source is to provide heat energy to the device, because today we are converting heat energy into work. To convert into work, heat into work, today we are converting heat into work. So to get work we need heat. This heat required for the device is provided by the source. Right? Next is the working substance. Usually ideal gas, what do you mean by ideal gas, is taken as a working substance. Today's our working substance is an ideal gas. Okay. Next, this ideal gas is enclosed in a cylinder fitted with movable piston. Actually, we used to take a cylinder. This is the piston. This piston is movable. Here we are taking an ideal gas. Today this ideal gas is converting heat energy into mechanical work. And this cylinder is having conducting base. This base, it is called as a base. This base is made up of conducting material, means thermally conductor. And the sides of this is called as a side, as well as this piston is made up of non-conducting material. Hence remember, this cylinder has non-conducting sides and conducting base. Conducting, non-conducting means it is thermally, not electrically. Okay. So next one is the sink. Sink is a cold body maintained at low temperature. Okay. Next, this sink has high specific heat. It is called as high specific heat. What do you mean by high specific heat? As I told you just now, we require a large amount of energy to change its temperature through 1 Kelvin. Here, high specific heat means even if it absorbs any amount of energy, its temperature should remain same. That is the meaning. It means we have to assume that the temperature of the sink is almost constant. Next, its main function is to receive the heat energy rejected by the sink, working substance. How? I will take in the next slide. See the heat engine. This is called as a hot reservoir. Today we are calling it as a source, and it is called as a sink. Here is the engine. Okay, so it receives heat energy from the source and do some work, and the remaining amount of heat is rejected to the sink. During this process, heat engine do work. So this I can show here. See, actually assume, even if, remember it is a source, it is a sink. Even when we keep them in contact, then heat flows from source to sink by itself. No external agent is required to pass the heat from source to sink. It flows by itself. But while flowing, we put a working substance here, machine, engine. So while heat is flowing from source to sink, it has to pass through the engine. While it is passing through the engine, it will do work. Today I assume that let Q1 is the amount of heat energy flows from the source to the work engine. Later the engine do W amount of work. After doing W amount of work, Q2 amount of heat energy is left. That is rejected to the sink. Okay, next one. How exactly it is happening? Just you observe this animation. See, it is a source. I told it is a hot body. Okay, so see, whenever this cylinder is placed on the source, the heat energy flows into the cylinder, means working substance. So working substance receives heat energy from the source. Look at here, right? So during this, keep in mind, expansion is taking place. So after receiving heat energy, it will do work. That steps are there that will take in the Carnot cycle. When we place on the sink, it rejects remaining amount of heat energy to the sink. And one more thing, remember, when we keep the cylinder here, expansion is taking place. When we keep on the sink, compression. Okay, that you have to observe. See, compression is taking place. Next, see one more thing I want to highlight you that, see, it is a source. It is a source. It is a working substance. See, heat energy flows from source to the working substance. Observe how long this heat energy is flowing. If you observe, see, here now heat energy is flowing. See, the heat energy flows till temperature of the source and temperature of this becomes equal. Means color, see, color becomes same. Okay, after that it is rejecting remaining amount of heat energy to the sink, right? It means the working substance receives heat energy till temperature of the source and temperature of working substance becomes equal. Here it is shown by the color. See, both becomes same color, so flow stops. Okay, see, now let Q1 is the heat energy absorbed by the working substance. W is the energy, whatever energy it is absorbing Q1. Out of Q1, it converts some amount of energy as a work. So W is the energy used by the working substance to do work. Later, Q2 is the heat energy rejected to the sink. Then according to law of conservation of energy, received is equal to whatever it is incoming is equal to outgoing, right? Therefore, Q1 is equal to W plus Q2. Q1 is equal to W plus Q2. Today we are interested in W. So W is equal to, send Q2 this side. Okay, Q1 minus Q2. This you have to remember. Okay. Next is the efficiency of the engine. What do you mean by efficiency? You have to remember. Okay. Efficiency means not only here, everywhere it is true. Efficiency means it is a ratio of. It is a ratio of. So received, whatever we want, received, okay, and given. Received and given. It means from this machine what we are receiving, what we want, and to get that what we have given. That received and given ratio is our efficiency. In this case, we are giving heat energy to the working substance. From that we are getting work. So here in this present we are receiving work. We are receiving work. What we have given to this? Heat energy is given. So here W is a work done. Which energy is heat energy is given? Q1 or Q2? You know it is Q1. Therefore, efficiency is nothing but ratio of W and Q1. Right? See, therefore, efficiency is nothing but the work done divided by heat energy absorbed. Work done means W, heat energy absorbed is Q1. In previous slide I told W is nothing but Q1 minus Q2 divided by Q1. See, later if you reshuffle the things, see, if you reshuffle, it is Q1 divided by Q1 minus Q2 divided by Q1. Then Q1 cancel. Then it is 1 minus Q2 by Q1. See, this is called as efficiency of the heat engine. This is the expression for efficiency of heat engine. So please note down this. It's a very, very, very important relation. Okay. Next. See, as we know that just now we arrived efficiency is equal to Q2 by Q1. And according to this formula, Q is equal to M S into delta T. Okay, so therefore heat energy is directly proportional to change in the temperature, or temperature of a body is directly proportional to heat energy. So based on this, I can say Q2 by Q1 can be written as T2 by T1. So this already I have written there. Let T1 and T2 be the temperature of the source and sink. Then T is directly proportional to Q. Then we can write T2 by T1 is equal to Q2 by Q1. So this relation, if I substitute here, Q2 by Q1 is equal to T2 by T1. Then efficiency of the heat engine is equal to 1 minus temperature of the sink divided by temperature of the source. Please note down this formula. Next, see here, same thing I can express in percentage also. See, this is called as a fraction. Always you know that it is nothing but work done divided by heat energy absorbed. This is called as fraction. Now this is nothing but fraction of absorbed heat energy converted into work. It is a fraction of absorbed heat energy converted into work. Okay, but now I want percentage of absorbed heat energy converted into work. To express in percentage, we have to multiply by 100. So you know that W by Q1 is nothing but this. Then for this formula, we have to multiply by 100. Therefore, in terms of percentage, the efficiency is equal to 1 minus T2 by T1 into 100. Next, see here. As we know that today we want maximum. Okay. So to get a maximum, see, I want this as maximum. You know it is fixed and it is negative term. So to have more here, this negative term should be less. So to have this is equal to less, it should be more or it should be less, or T1 should be maximum or T2 should be minimum. But question arises here maximum. For a given body, you know that if you go on increase the temperature, then the radiation, loss of heat by radiation also increases. And also the other effects are also takes place when we increase to a high temperature. So minimum. So to keep T2 minimum, we can go on decrease the temperature. So to have minimum, what is the minimum value? 0. Therefore, when T2 is at 0 Kelvin, then efficiency will be maximum. You know that when it is 0 by anything? 0. 1 minus 0, 1. Therefore, maximum efficiency is 1, or in percentage, it is 100%. Therefore, remember, this heat engine can give maximum efficiency when sink is at 0 Kelvin. But we know that it is highly difficult to maintain a 0 Kelvin. Hence, this maintaining 0 is practically impossible. Therefore, getting efficiency 100% is practically not possible. Okay, so next, or otherwise in other word I can say efficiency is equal to W divided by Q1. Just now I said for 100%, to have this is 100%, here W1 and Q1 must be equal for 100%. For theta is equal to 100%, W should be equal to, it means whatever energy it is absorbed should be completely converted into work. Then we can say its efficiency is 100%. When it is not possible, means when we cannot maintain 0 Kelvin, means we cannot get 100%. When we cannot get 100% means W never be equal to Q1. It means no engine can convert the absorbed heat energy completely into work. This we can study as second law of thermodynamics, that is Clausius statement, Kelvin statement, Kelvin Planck statement, all they said about this results. Okay. Now Carnot heat engine. You know that this Carnot heat engine is developed by SETI Carnot. It is just an idealized heat engine. Okay. So here it consists of, once again, same cylinder. It consists of a cylinder, as I told you earlier also. So cylinder is having non-conducting sides. This blue color, whatever I show, is a non-conducting sides. But once again, base of the cylinder is conducting. Hence, the cylinder has non-conducting walls and conducting base. And this cylinder is fitted with piston. This piston is airtight. Airtight means no air can go from inside to outside. No air can go from inside to outside, or no air can enter into the cylinder. It is airtight. So, and remember, as I told, this piston is also non-conducting, and there should not be any friction between walls of the cylinder and the piston. It is a frictionless, airtight, non-conducting piston. And our ideal gas is filled in this cylinder. Ideal gas is taken in this cylinder. Okay, that is nothing but our working substance. Then, as I told, source, it's a hot body maintained at high temperature. It is used for isothermal expansions, I told earlier. Sink, it is a cold body maintained at low temperature. It is used for isothermal compression, as I told in the beginning. When we put on sink, we compress. It receives the heat. So it is used for isothermal compression. And non-conducting stand. When we keep the cylinder on it, it cannot give heat to the cylinder, nor it receives heat energy from the cylinder. It means neither takes nor gives. Both are not possible. Means Q is equal to 0. Means change in heat energy of this is 0. When no heat energy is exchanged, that is called as adiabatic process. Hence, remember, this non-conducting stand called insulating stand is used for adiabatic compression as well as adiabatic expansions. See, first, this is a cylinder fitted with piston. This is having non-conducting sides and conducting base. This is a source having non-conducting walls and conducting top. Insulating stand, from all sides it is thermal insulator. Sink, non-conducting sides and conducting top. Okay. See exactly the process. First, you can mention this. When the cylinder is placed on the source, first cylinder is placed on source, it is expanded. Here when it is expanding, so it takes heat energy from the source. Okay, it means always it maintains the temperature equal to temperature of the source. As I told, the heat energy flows from source to the cylinder till temperature of this equal to temperature of this. So it is isothermal expansion. Later in second step, it is placed on insulating stand. Here it is isothermal expansion. When we keep on insulating stand, adiabatic process takes place. Here once again it is expanded, adiabatic expansion. During this, remember temperature decreases, right now. So volume increases. Later it is placed on sink. It is compressed. While compressing, it rejects heat energy. Till here, remember temperature of this and this should be same. Till later it is kept on insulating stand. Once again it is compressed. Therefore, this complete one cycle takes place in 4 steps. First isothermal expansion, next adiabatic expansion, next isothermal compression, adiabatic compression. See, as I told, isothermal takes place in source and sink. Expansion means it is placed on source. Compression means it is placed on sink. For adiabatic process, it is placed on adiabatic process. For adiabatic process, it should be placed on insulating stand. See here, we can say in detail, we can show here in 1 to 2 process. First process, see, same thing I can repeat. Placed on source, isothermally expanded, then heat energy enters into the working substance. Since it is isothermal, the nature of graph is this, P versus V graph is like this. Okay, it is shown here. The heat energy absorbed by the working substance. Next, adiabatic expansion. As I told, so isothermal as well as adiabatic graph are same only. Only the difference is the steepness. If it is adiabatic is like this, so isothermal is more steep like this. Steepness is more. It means in this graph steepness is more. See this curve and this curve. Nature same but steepness is more. Okay. Next third, it is placed on sink. It is compressed. As I told, it is isothermal compression. Isothermal means nature of graph remains same. While compressing, volume decreases, pressure increases. So volume V decreases, pressure increases like this. Then adiabatic compression. Yes. So keep in mind, take this graph, Carnot cycle, whatever you want, pause the screen and note down. It is a PV diagram, it is TS diagram of this Carnot heat engine. Next, see exactly what is happening. When cylinder is placed on the source, while expanding, heat energy is getting entered. Its graph is shown here. Okay. Next, it is placed on insulating stand. Further, it is expanded. See, volume goes on, increases. Volume is increasing. Nature of graph are same, only steepness is different. It is isothermal expansion. Right? Isothermal expansion. When it is placed on insulating stand, it is adiabatic expansion. See here, The next we can see the same. Look at this. It is a compression is taking place. When we place it on the sink and when we compress, the heat energy is rejected to the sink. And look at the graph also. See, look at the graph. Isothermal, it is compression. When it goes like that side and place it on the insulating stand, then adiabatic compression takes place. Okay. Next, same I have written. See here, you can note down the graphs. State 1 to state 2 is isothermal expansion. So work done in isothermal expansion. So look at the previous classes and see what is an expression for work done in isothermal process. It was nRT into ln final volume. Today I am taking final volume as V2, initial is V1. Okay, so this takes place at a temperature equal to temperature of the source. Since it is expansion, I am taking W. Okay, plus. Later in second stage, it is work done in adiabatic process. Work done in adiabatic process. For adiabatic process, work done is equal to N R delta T divided by gamma minus 1, or it is a P final minus V final minus P initial V initial divided by gamma minus 1. So you can write. Later in stage 3, it is once again isothermal compression. Here expression this, but temperature is T2, volumes are final is V4, initial is V3. Once again adiabatic compression. If you add all work done, W's, you will get total work done in the process. So somewhere write down. It's a very important sentence. Here area under this PV graph, yes, area. Okay, so I can show this. This area under this PV graph gives total work done in one cycle. Total work done in one cycle is provided by area under this graph. Okay. Next is a refrigerator. What is this refrigerator? So before going to the refrigerator, I want to take some more points. That is some statement, second law of thermodynamics statement. One is Clausius statement. What is this Clausius statement? Instead of reading this, for NEET and JEE it is necessary to understand. As we know that when water is at certain height, say it is a tank at H1 height, this tank is at, here, this is H1, it is H2, or otherwise, instead of taking 2, I take only 1. See, ground. So water can flow from tank to ground by itself. No external agent is necessary for that. This water flows from higher to lower by itself. But same water which is here, cannot go here by itself. It cannot go by itself. But we can send this water from lower height to higher height by using external agent. Similarly, today heat flows from hot body to cold body. It is a hot body. It's a cold body. Heat flows from hot body to cold body by itself. No external agent is required. But to flow from cold body to hot body, we need a device. Means without a device, we cannot send the heat cannot flow from cold body to hot body. Okay, that is the meaning of Clausius statement. It is impossible for a self-acting machine, means self-acting means by itself, to transfer heat from colder body to hotter body without aid of an external agent. Means in simple, in general, in one word, remember, without external agent or without the help of a device, heat cannot flow from cold body to hot body. So with the help of device we can send. That is a Clausius statement. Kelvin statement. So as you know, it is a hot body, a temperature T1. It is a cold body, it is a hot body, cold body, temperature T2. Heat flowing from hot body to cold body by itself till T1 is equal to T2. When we put some device here, like heat engine device, heat engine, well, heat is flowing from hot body to cold body to do work. But heat engine do work as long as heat is flowing. It is doing work as long as heat is flowing. But you know, heat flows till T1 is equal to T2. Not right. Heat engine work ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಯಾವಾಗ heat energy ಈ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ಈ ಕಡೆ ಫ್ಲೋ ಆಗ್ತಿರುವಾಗ heat engine takes heat and do work. ಇದು ಎಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೆ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೆ ಇದು ಹೀಟ್ ಫ್ಲೋ ಆಗ್ತಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೆ ಹೀಟ್ ಎಂಜಿನ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೆ ಹೀಟ್ ಫ್ಲೋ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಟಿಲ್ T1 is equal to T2. ಒನ್ಸ್ T1 is equal to T2 ಆಯ್ತು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಹೀಟ್ ಫ್ಲೋ ಆಗ್ತಿರುವಾಗ ಇದ್ರ ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್ ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್ ಆಫ್ ಹಾಟ್ ಬಾಡಿ ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಇದ್ರ ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಎಟ್ ಸರ್ಟನ್ ಸ್ಟೇಜಿಗೆ ಎರಡರದ್ದು ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಒನ್ಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಆಯಿತು ಅಂದರೆ ಹೀಟ್ ಫ್ಲೋ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಹೀಟ್ ಫ್ಲೋ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಈ ಮಷಿನ್ ಹೀಟ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿಯನ್ನು ವರ್ಕ್ ಆಗಿ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಓಕೆ, ಇಲ್ರಿ ಇದು ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಆದಾಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಮತ್ತೆ ಇದು ಬಾಡಿಲಿಂದ ಹೀಟ್ ತಗೊಂಡು ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಹೀಟ್ ತೆಗಿಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗಿದಾಗ ಹೀಟ್ ಫ್ಲೋ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ರೈಟ್? ಅದೇ ಕೆಲ್ವಿನ್ ಹೇಳುತ್ತೆ, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಇಂಪಾಸಿಬಲ್ ಫಾರ್ ಎ ಬಾಡಿ ಆರ್ ಎ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಟು ಪರ್ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂಸ್ ವರ್ಕ್ by cooling it to a temperature lower than the temperature of the coldest one of its surrounding. T2 ಕಿನ ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗಿದಾಗ ಹೀಟ್ ತಗೊಂಡು ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ನೋದೇ ಇದರ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್, ಕೆಲ್ವಿನ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಈಗ ಕೆಲ್ವಿನ್ ಪ್ಲಾಂಕ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಏನಿದು? ಕೆಲ್ವಿನ್ ಪ್ಲಾಂಕ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್, ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದಿಸ್ ಕೆಲ್ವಿನ್ ಪ್ಲಾಂಕ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್? While explaining the heat engine I told, no engine can convert complete absorbed energy into work. ಎಷ್ಟು ಎನರ್ಜಿ ತಗೊಳುತ್ತೆ ಅಷ್ಟು ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಆಗಿ ವರ್ಕ್ ಆಗಿ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಯಾವ ಡಿವೈಸು ಮಾಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ನೋ ಎಂಜಿನ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ absorbed heat energy into work. This is the meaning of the Kelvin Planck's statement. Okay. Now come back to our refrigerator. Just now I said according to our Clausius statement. ಏನಂತ ಹೇಳುತ್ತೆ? So Clausius statement say Without external agent, heat cannot flow from cold body to hot body. ಇದು ಉಲ್ಟಾ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ, to remove the heat energy from cold body to hot body, we need an external agent. So refrigerator ಅದನ್ನೇ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. Actually heat engine ಏನು ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ? Heat engine takes heat from hot body to cold body. It's cold, ಇದು hot. It removes the heat energy from hot body and send it to cold body. But refrigerator is a reverse. It takes the heat energy from cold body and goes to the hot body. But to do this, we need an external work. Okay, so this is a refrigerator. Idrige jaasti explanation kododu badari, whatever we want for NEET or JEE will concentrate. Okay, see here, actually what is the main function of refrigerator? To remove heat energy from the cold body and send it to hot body is a main function. And ನಮಗೆ ಏನು ಬೇಕು ಇವತ್ತು? What we want to remove the heat energy from sink, that is a Q2. We want Q2. You know that this Q2 cannot be done by itself. For that we are giving work. So therefore we are giving work done, but we are receiving this. Okay, therefore this performance of the refrigerator is expressed in terms of coefficient of performance called beta. Once again it is same, received by given. What is received? Heat energy from the cold body. What is given? Work done. Hence today I can say beta is equal to Q2 divided by work done. According to law of conservation of energy, look at here, these two are incoming, it is outgoing. So outgoing is equal to sum of incomings, that is Q1 is equal to W plus Q. If you send, W can be written as Q1 minus Q2. Okay, so later coefficient of performance can be written as Q2 divided by Q1 minus Q2. This is an expression for coefficient of performance. Okay, look at here. Coefficient of performance means heat extracted divided by work done. Heat extracted divided by work done. And here it is written beta is equal to Q2 by W. This beta is equal to Q2 divided by Q1 minus Q2. Okay, whatever is written is obtained here. And next is a perfect refrigerator. What do you mean by perfect refrigerator? So to what we call it as a perfect. Now perfect ಅಂತ ಎದಕ್ಕೆ ಅಂತೀವಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, perfect ಮತ್ತೆ ideal ಎದಕ್ಕೆ ಅಂತೀವಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, the one which gives more and receives less. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕಡಿಮೆ ತಗೊಂಡು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ನಾವು ಕೊಡಬೇಕು. ಅಂದ್ರೆ we are expecting less to give but more to receive. ಹೌದಾ? ಇಲ್ಲಿ ರೆಫ್ರಿಜರೇಟರ್ ಲಿಂದ ರಿಮೂವ್ಸ್ ಹೀಟ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದ ಕೋಲ್ಡ್ ಬಾಡಿ. ಅದನ್ನ ನಮಗೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಬೇಕು, ವಿ ವಾಂಟ್ ಮೋರ್ Q2 ಬಟ್ ಲೆಸ್ ಕೊಡೋದು ಯಾವುದು? ವರ್ಕ್ ಡನ್. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ವಿ ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ಗಿವ್ ಲೆಸ್ ವರ್ಕ್, ಮೋರ್ Q2. ಲೆಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಷ್ಟು? ವೆರಿ 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 ಸ್ಮಾಲ್, ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ 0. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ವೆನ್ ವಿ ಪ್ರೊವೈಡ್ 0 ವರ್ಕ್ ಡನ್ ಇಸ್ 0. ಇದು 0 ಆಯ್ತಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬೀಟಾ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? ಇನ್ಫಿನಿಟಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, beta is infinity. Are you clear? That is means the perfect refrigerator is one which transfers heat from cold body to hot body without doing work. Okay, so next one is we know that same in the last heat engine I told Q1 by Q2 is T2 by T1. ಅದನ್ನು ಹಾಕಿದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ರೈಟ್ ಆನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಬೀಟಾ ಇಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ T2 by T1 minus T2, where T1 is the temperature of the surrounding, T2 is the temperature of the cold body. Okay, other beta now substitute ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ, but that is not necessary. That is ಈಗ relation between coefficient of performance and efficiency of the refrigerator. Just now I said beta is equal to Q2 divided by Q1 minus Q2. ಈಗೇನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, for both numerator as well as denominator we can take Q1 common. ಇಲ್ಲಿ Q1 ಕಾಮನ್ ತಗೋಬೇಕು. ಆದರೆ ಇದು Q1 ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ನಾನು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಡಿವೈಡ್ Q2 by Q1 whole divided by, from this we can take Q1 common. It becomes 1 minus Q2 by Q1. Then Q1 can be cancelled. Then beta is equal to Q2 by Q1 by 1 minus Q2 by Q1. Next, efficiency. So efficiency is nothing but 1 minus Q2 by Q1. Okay. If I send 1 this side, then Q2 by Q1, I think it's not visible. Okay, Q2 by Q1 is equal to 1 minus efficiency. Here efficiency is equal to 1 minus Q2 by Q1. Okay. Here, when I put Q2 by Q1 here, it becomes 1 minus efficiency divided by 1 minus Q2 by Q1 is nothing but beta. Hence beta is equal to 1 minus efficiency divided by efficiency. It is a relation between coefficient of performance and efficiency of the refrigerator. Okay, pause the screen and note down. Remember, this is our synopsis on thermodynamics. Today we have finished a synopsis on heat engine and refrigerator. It was very much simple. So tomorrow, means in next video, I'll go to problems on heat engine and refrigerator. And one more thing, remember, if you look at from 2015 or 16 till the last year, from thermodynamics we are getting minimum 2 to 3 questions in NEET. Therefore, in my opinion, for examination point of view, it's a very much important topic. Okay, we meet in next video using from problems. Okay.